You're a lemur, weird, wild, and running out of time. Welcome to Madagascar. Not the movie, the real one. No lions, no giraffes, no hippos singing in Central Park accents. Just you, a lemur, born under the canopy, wrapped in fur, with ancient blood in your veins. Your mom pulls you close. You cling. You learn your first rule fast. Hold on, or fall. You're not born in a neat, civilized jungle. You're born in chaos, a land with plants that stab, insects that scream, and predators that hunt like shadows. But there's also light, warmth, family. Lemurs don't come with instruction manuals. You just cling to your mom's belly, bounce through the forest, and watch the world blur past. You're not a monkey. You're not a squirrel. You're a little ghost in the trees, fast, fuzzy, and full of questions. Madagascar doesn't make sense, but it made you, and now it's your turn to figure it out. People think you're a monkey because you climb, because you leap, because you've got that jungle gym energy. But you're not a monkey. You're what came before. Monkeys have fancy brains, gripping thumbs, social media level drama. You're the original prototype, a primate older than apes, older than monkeys. You branched off the evolutionary tree 65 million years ago. That's dinosaur extinction old. While the rest of the primates headed for Africa and Asia, the trees are your kingdom, your launch pads, your safety net. You climb before you walk. You leap before you think. Up here, you've got options. Food grows from branches. Friends travel by canopy. Predators, most can't follow. But the ground? That's not home. That's danger. There's no fruit, no vines, no exits. Just teeth, fossa, snakes, raptors, and now, humans. On the ground, you move like a thief. Low, fast, ears twitching like radar. Every sound is a threat. Every shadow might bite. You don't run, you bounce. Sideways, upright, like a squirrel trained in martial arts. You don't want to be here. Lemurs aren't built for flat earth. You're meant for branches that bend, not roads that burn. And if you can't find your way back up, you don't last long, because on the ground, gravity isn't your only enemy. It's everything else. Your eyes are huge, cartoon-level huge. You don't blink, you process. Every flick of a branch, every fruit hanging too perfectly, every rival watching you watching them. Those eyes weren't built for fun. They were built for survival. You see in twilight. You read shadows. When the sun dips low and the jungle turns blue, you shine like a satellite with fur. But it's not just about vision. Those eyes communicate. A stare means back off. A blink means I'm cool. A long, unbroken gaze. That's lemur for, you really want to start something right now? And sometimes, just sometimes, looks aren't enough. So you scream, loud, sudden, bone-rattling and high-pitched like a baby alarm going off in every direction. Why? Because something moved wrong, or someone touched your mango, or a fossa's tail just appeared where no tail should be. Lemurs don't do subtle. You either vibe quietly or unleash chaos. And thanks to your giant anime eyes, everyone sees it coming. In lemur society, words are overrated. You've got better tools, like your tail. It's not just balance. It's a flag, a signal, a mood ring. Tail up? I'm here. Tail stiff? I'm not playing. Tail waving in slow motion, like a fuzzy metronome? That's lemur for, watch your step. But the real language, it's scent. You've got glands on your wrists, on your chest, in places we won't mention. And you use them all. Rub on bark, rub on rocks, rub on everything. What are you saying? This is my tree. This mango is claimed. Come find me, but only if you smell right. Lemur forests are a network of chemical texts. You sniff a branch, and it tells a whole story. Who passed by? When they passed? How dominant they felt? And if you're a ring-tailed lemur, oh, it gets weirder. You mix tail and scent into a weaponized ritual. The stink fight. You rub your tail with scent glands and wave it at your rival like a fuzzy perfume nunchuck. No biting, just bad smells and bad attitudes. Whoever stinks stronger wins, and no one forgets it. In your world, the boys don't rule. The girls do, and they're not subtle about it. In lemur society, females run everything. They lead the group. They eat first. They pick the mates. They break up the fights or start them. If you're a male, your job is simple. Keep your distance, stay out of her way, and maybe, just maybe, she'll tolerate you. Females don't just dominate socially. They're tougher, more aggressive. They even have testosterone levels that could make a baboon blush. Think lemurs are cute? They are, until a matriarch decides your face is in her space. Then you're airborne. You don't get alpha males flexing on rocks here. You get alpha females stealing your fruit while looking you dead in the eyes. And you take it, because that's the rule. She leads, you follow, or you find yourself exiled, alone, and very, very bananaless. And honestly, it works. The forest runs better when the girls are in charge. They keep order, keep the group moving, keep the males humble. This isn't chaos. This is matriarchal precision. Lemurs don't roar, but their queens do not mess around. You're not built like a fighter. No claws, no fangs. Just legs that bounce like springs, arms that flail like flags, and a voice that sounds like a haunted flute. And you make it work. You dance, especially if you're a Sifaka lemur. You don't walk. You side hop, upright, arms up, like a furry ballerina fleeing from an invisible disco beat. It's not for fun, okay? It's also for fun. But mostly, it's to cross the deadly ground without being caught. You leap from tree to tree, 20 feet, sometimes more. You don't fall, you launch. Your legs are rocket grade. Your landings are parkour. And when danger comes close, you scream. Loud, sharp, a jungle siren in high definition. Each species has its own alarm. Snake, hawk, human. You don't just run, you warn the whole forest. Because even if you're tiny, even if you're soft, you are not silent. You are rhythm, you are movement, you are a living alarm with a 6-foot vertical. Lemurs are social, but not nice. You live in troops, families, cliques. Sometimes 5 lemurs, sometimes 30, and every single one of them has opinions. Who gets the best spot to sunbathe? Who stole the last fig? Who's flirting with someone else's mate? Yeah, it gets messy. There's grooming, there's cuddling, but there's also screaming, biting, silent treatment. Lemur drama is real. One day you're play wrestling. Next day, you're being chased out of the mango tree like a furry criminal. You groom to make friends, you ignore to punish, and if someone in the group breaks the vibe, they might just be left behind. Even babies aren't safe from the drama. Sometimes moms borrow each other's kids. Sometimes they refuse to give them back. Sometimes no one knows whose kid that is anymore. This isn't just nature. It's a full-blown lemur telenovela. But despite all the fighting, the flirting, the attitude, you stick together because out here, chaos is safer than loneliness. The forest used to stretch forever, trees older than memory, shadows deeper than fear. Lemurs dance through canopies like poetry with tales. But now the trees stop and the sky opens in the worst way. Smoke, noise, steel teeth tearing roots from soil. Fires that burn not to cook food, but to clear land. For crops, for cattle, for money. You don't understand what's happening. You just know the tree you slept on? Gone. The path you danced through? Bulldozed. The fruit you waited a week to ripen? Ash. You don't fight. You don't protest. You just look for another tree. But there aren't many left. Madagascar loses thousands of hectares of forest every year. And lemurs, they only know how to live in trees. So you leap farther, risk harder. You search for canopy that still connects. And sometimes when you land on that last branch, there's nothing under your feet, just space and silence. No one puts you on coins, no flags, no stadium mascots. You don't headline wildlife documentaries. You don't roar, stomp, or charge in slow motion, but you're still here, clinging to branches that no longer connect, raising your young in shrinking shadows, calling to the trees, and hearing fewer answers. You are lemur, one of the oldest primates alive, a living thread back to when mammals first tried climbing. You leap like nothing else. You sing in screams. You fight with scent and settle disputes with grooming. You've adapted in every way, except to a world that forgets fast. 95% of lemur species are now endangered. Some may already be gone, without a name, without a photo, without a goodbye. And yet you still leap, still reach, not for fame, not for thanks, just for the next branch. Because that's what lemurs do. You live, you dance, even if no one's watching, even if no one remembers. You are a miracle in motion, a whisper of what the earth once sounded like.